Yeah?
There's not one clean plate in this whole saloon. Clara, I need these for closing time.
I heard you.
Ugh. I don't know how those cowboys eat so much. I hope we don't get any more in here tonight.
You sure about that?
Mr. Monty, you don't better go sneaking up on people like that. I ought to not give you any supper. I'll just teach you a lesson.
Fine by me. I didn't come in here for supper.
Then what did you come in here for? You didn't come to see my pretty face.
Why not? I hear folks come all the way from Bow Leg just to see you.
Get on with you. I won't have any liars in my saloon.
Guess that means I can stay.
If you're not here for supper, you come to see Miss Clara?
Miss Clara, no ma'am. I came to see you and ask you for a favor.
A favor?
Yes, I was thinking about taking out a loan.
A loan? And what makes you think I can give you a loan?
Well, everyone knows you got a few hundred stashed away somewhere.
Me? $100? That's nonsense.
Come on, Vera. I thought you said no liars in here.
Fine, but that's only because last time Billy got into trouble and I needed the money saved up. I can't just give you any loan.
Well, I mean, it is kind of something small, kind of like a ring.
A ring? What in the world would you be wanting a ring for? You're a cowboy, not a George.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you need us looking like that for? Mr. Monty, are you getting engaged?
Maybe, maybe not.
Heaven above us. Who's the girl? Do I know her?
I don't reckon so.
What's her name?
It isn't really anything I know yet.
You're not sure?
Nope.
If you don't know her and you don't know that, then why bother asking for a loan?
I told you, so I can buy myself a ring.
You're one in a million, Mr. Monty. I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
Who's one in a million, Vera?
Our Mr. Monty is, of course.
Evening, Mr. Monty.
Evening, Miss Clara.
Don't forget to pour Mr. Monty some coffee, Claire.
Yes, ma'am.
You didn't put any dirt in it, did you?
Of course not, Mr. Monty. I made this batch especially for you.
It's that bad, huh?
People come a long way just to drink my coffee. They come all the way from Bow Leg, and they like it too.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Clara, what was it you said about no liars in here?
Don't you two start bickering already.
No, ma'am.
Or you can both twerk your curl outside. Heaven knows what that curl's all about, but I wish to goodness we find it in one of these days.
Yes, ma'am.
Vera, what'd you say about somebody buying a ring?
Our Mr. Monty is. Our Mr. Monty is.
Mr. Monty? Whatever for?
Oh, he can't say for certain.
Mr. Monty? Cowboy Monty? Getting engaged? What?
Clara!
I'm sorry. I can't help myself.
I'll come back later for that one later.
Sorry, Vera. I can't be giving you any loan now.
But Vera,
Go to the bank and get some money instead.
I did, but they were held up last week.
They got robbed.
I bet it was those Berlin brothers.
Who else?
They need to be locked up instead of decent people.
I hope they don't come here someday.
Don't worry, they won't want to cross paths with Vera.
That's because they know I keep old Martha nearby.
And the two of you are enough to scare a grizzly.
I can smell that coffee all the way down the street.
Evening, Billy.
Evening. Vera, how's business?
They're an intro from you. Business is just fine.
What's that supposed to mean? Billy, what are you doing here without a bullwhip? Oh, this old friend? I always carry him. You know Sheriff said you're not allowed to have it within city limits. He did?
You know he did, Billy.
You guys are no fun.
We just have different ideas of what fun is.
You know Sheriff always be saying things that he don't mean. And he's getting old, you know. With that eyesight, I bet he wouldn't even know I had it.
Still, I feel better if you took it off.
Fine.
Food is ready in the back. Did the stage come today?
I think it did. I heard Billy talking about it earlier.
Are those new folks?
Oh, and look at their clothes. They must have cost a fortune.
I bet they're from out east.
And I bet they didn't place to spend their money and sleep.
Look, they're coming this way.
How, Clara? Make this place look decent.
How?
Mr. Monty, don't just stand there. You two act like you were having a pleasant conversation.
A pleasant conversation with Miss Vera.
Yes.
I don't think Mr. Monty knows how to have a pleasant conversation.
I've had plenty of practice out in the real world.
Talking to your horses doesn't count.
Honestly, the pair of you. Hello, and welcome. Evening to you.
Good evening. The stage driver directed us here. Told us we could find a couple of rooms. This is the Tumble On Inn, is it not?
You come to the right place.
I'll take your bags for you. Thank you.
I bet you guys have had a long job. Will you want to eat supper?
Oh, yes, please. We're both rather hungry.
Would you like some help, Vera?
Yes, please, Miss Monty.
Edward,
Now, Alice.
I knew Father said his property was out in the wilderness, but here?
What did you expect? We're not in Connecticut anymore.
Well, I wish I were.
Quiet down, they might hear you. The people here seem very nice.
Tomorrow morning, I want you to go out and buy a gun.
Oh, come now.
I mean it, Edward. We are not safe here.
Alice.
I wish we had something to defend ourselves with.
Alice.
I think I still have that letter opener from the hotel. That's something sharp. Alice. What is it?
Our supper is here. Here's some hot stewed fresh bread for the both of you. It smells wonderful. Oh, I forgot your coffee. Let me get you some. See, Alice, the people here are just like back home.
Hardly. Vera, the rooms are not ready.
Thank you. Did you sweep the guest room?
Yes, ma'am.
And did the dusting?
Yes, ma'am. Every one of them.
What about the laundry?
Yes, ma'am. Old Miss Patterson couldn't carry it on her own, so I carried it for her.
Good girl.
Thank you, ma'am. Vera, what happened to the rest of my stew? I wasn't finished yet.
That'll be 75 cents for your supper, Billy, and 25 cents for beans.
$1? I can't afford that. You know that.
And just what are you saying, Billy?
I'm more broke than the bank in Bowleg.
And now you decide to tell me?
I'll pay for her, Vera.
No, you keep your money.
I don't need any favors. I'll bring you by some fresh game tomorrow. How's that?
Just don't come back to my kitchen until you do.
Did you hear that, Edward?
Hush, Alice.
I'll check my traps early in the morning, and that's where the rest of my food went. Vera, what are you doing giving food like this to people like them? I beg your pardon. Going around with hush words like, I beg your pardon?
Billy, I think we ought to step outside now.
No.
Billy, you remember what happened last time?
And what do you want, Mr. Shiny Shoes?
Okay, if you're really hungry and there isn't any food left, well, I'd be happy to give you mine.
Nonsense.
I don't really understand how I offended you. I just meant to help a lady like you.
What did you just call me?
Monty, can't you do something?
Put that bull up away, Billy.
Anyone who comes near me gets it. Now watch who you're calling a lady.
I don't quite understand. I was only trying to help a person such as yourself.
Vera, give me a deck of cards.
Please, Billy, no.
You ever drink cactus juice, mister?
Me? No, I can't say that I have.
It sets your whole insides on fire. Just one sip, and it shoots right out of your ears. Whoever draws the lowest card, drinks. And that is gonna be you. Oh, Edward!
It's all right, Alice. I think this has gone far enough.
I said draw.
Now, really, don't you think this has...
I'm gonna give you one more chance, mister. By the time I count to 3, you'll draw. 1, 2, 3.
Billy Montgomery, if you have so much as touch a hair on one of these hands, I'll bring out Martha.
Oh, you wanna go that far, Vera?
I would count on it. She would do it, Billy.
Just try me.
All right, fine. Just watch whose dinner you eat next time.
I'll make sure she stays out, Vera.
I'm so sorry I had to do all this, Mr. Fairchild. It's quite all right. In fact, I thought the whole event was rather exciting. Exciting? Didn't you think so, Alice?
Exciting. Well, she almost catch her quick.
Oh, Alice, are you all right? Alice? Alice? I think we should take her up to her room. I'm so sorry I had to see all this. This thing doesn't usually happen around here. Don't give it another thought. How much do I owe you for the meal? I can't take your money after all this. I just feel so horrible. Nonsense. I didn't mind it in the least. You didn't? No, ma'am. In fact, I think being out here in the West is rather exhilarating. Oh, well, you come to the right place.
Coffee's ready, Vera. Would you like me to put it out here and take it back to the stove?
I think it has to wait yet.
I think so.
Set it on the table. Then you can take these to Miss Fairchild. She'll be clean enough for her.
I've never seen
seen such fun things before. Almost makes me want to cry.
I feel the same.
Do you read the Mrs. O'Henry column in the newspaper? Mrs. O'Henry says that...
Morning, Vera. Have the new folks come down yet?
Not yet, Miss Monty.
Oh, darn. I want to talk to that Mr. Fairchild fella.
I'm sure he'll be down any minute now. Doesn't strike me as the kind who likes to sleep in late.
As I was saying, I read in the Mrs. O'Henry column that it's the little refinements, little things like shoes, lace, and ribbons that make all the difference.
Make all the difference for what?
Not for what, in what.
All right. Make all the difference in what?
In life, of course.
I've been life a fair amount. Can't say that shoes, lace, or ribbons have made any kind of impression on it.
Oh, why do I bother?
Now, horseshoes, those made an impression in my life. If I read a paper that talked about horseshoes, I'd give that a chance.
You'd have to learn how to read first.
I could read anything you put in front of me.
Is that right?
But not this, and this may surprise you, but not only I can read, I can write too.
Will wonders never cease?
Good morning, Miss Fairchild. Can I pour you some coffee?
I'm afraid not, Miss Vera. I came all along this way to reclaim some property that my father owned. After that, I'm this close. I'm anxious to get started.
And what property might that be, Mr. Fairchild?
The Fourth Corners Ranch.
That's near St. Ambrose River, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That's nearly 5 miles from here. You're gonna need a horse before you set out.
Oh, I didn't realize. I guess I'm not really well prepared, as you can see.
I know where you can find one for a good price. We'll set up today, and we'll head out for your ranch tomorrow.
Are you good with horses?
You won't find anyone better, Mr. Fairchild. You're in good hands with this cowboy.
Well, that's all really kind of you, Mr.
Monty, just Monty, with no frills about it.
Call me Edward. How much do you charge, Monty?
Oh, it's no charge, Edward. You see, you had a run-in with my sister yesterday.
Ah,
She can get a little hog wild sometimes, but darn, I was about getting worried. But if you didn't handle it like any old cowboy,
thank you, I think.
the least what I could do is get you set up in these parts. It ain't easy living out here.
I've noticed. Where do we start?
Near in the stockyard sounds about right. Edward.
Meet you outside in a minute.
But Mrs. Fairchild, you just got here.
I can't stay. Edward,
But sister,
on the stagecoach, we almost drove off a cliff. Crossing the river, we almost drowned. And last night, we were almost murdered by bandits.
By what?
it must have been a dream.
I could hear them screaming and shouting in the streets all night.
It might have been them Burley brothers.
Claire's right. It's only those local troublemakers who ride through town like that that I won't be here the next time they do.
Now, Alice,
Don't out Alice me. It's all I heard since we left home.
that's because you're overreacting.
Overreacting? My reactions are entirely proportionate. Any doctor will tell you that I'm underreacting.
But we're so close to seeing Father's ranch,
Our lives are more important than Father's ranch.
which is exactly why we must stay.
I can't do it, Edward. I can't live in these conditions. It's not fit for animals. I beg your pardon. Animals, you heard me.
Well, why don't you just go outside for a minute and actually see what this place has to offer?
No.
Please, Miss Fairchild.
I don't want to go outside. I don't want to see. I just want to go home.
Wait just a minute now. For goodness sake, stop your sniveling. Look at you. That's right. If the rest of us can live, breathe, and talk like normal people, so can you. You act like us folks are out to get you. If you're gonna leave, leave. If you're gonna stay, stay. But for goodness sakes, do it the civilized manner.
You worked that perfectly, Miss Vera.
I'll pour Miss Fairchild some coffee.
A good idea.
Here.
Thank you.
I'm sorry you're feeling homesick.
I suppose Edward is right. He doesn't have a job to go back to. And being a writer isn't very profitable.
Are you a writer?
She
I
is a good
suppose.
one too.
What do you got about?
Nothing much.
She can write about anything. Told me about them stories in the newspaper. She could write an entire novel.
I always did want to write a novel.
I love reading books about life out east.
And people in the East love reading books about life in the West. Think about it, Alice.
I always did want to write a novel.
It's wonderful.
Sounds grand.
I should get going.
Can I pour you some more coffee? I'll be all right. Perhaps I should apologize for my outburst. It was a bit out of character.
Don't think another thought about it, Miss Fairchild.
Apology accepted. I'm afraid I might have offended some people.
Who? Vera? Nah, she's tough as a bull moose. I mean, she's quite robust in spirit, although coarse in disposition. It isn't easy being ladylike in these parts, but I do try. I read the Mrs. O'Henry column in the newspaper, and she says,
You read the Miss O'Henry column?
of course. Not very often, though. We only get to the post office in Bowleg once a month. Do you read the Miss O'Henry?
My dear, I write the Miss O'Henry column. At least I did before we left home.
You are Mrs. O'Henry?
It's only my pen name, of course. I've written under several different names.
As I live and breathe, I'm standing next to a real novelist, a real columnist.
Well, I haven't written any novels yet, but it's always been a big dream of mine. May I ask you a favor?
Anything.
May I observe you, respectfully, of course. I would like to see what your day-to-day life is like. It would be research for my book.
Of course. It would be an honor, Mrs. Fairchild.
Call me Alice.
It would be an honor, Alice. Although, I'm afraid you can't observe me tonight. Tonight, I have a very special meeting that I cannot miss. I asked Vera for the evening off.
Oh, that's quite all right.
Want to know why it's so special?
Why?
I'm meeting a gentleman friend tonight.
Oh, that's quite special.
We've been writing each other for quite some time now. It all started when I left my book in a shop in Bowleg. I went back to pick it up, but it was gone. I was sure someone had stolen it. But the next time I went to the post office, you know what I found?
What?
My book. I had written our box number inside the front cover in case I ever lost it. And there it was, mailed back to me along with the loveliest letter.
How sweet. The letter was from your friend?
Yes. He had mailed it back to me, so I had written the letter back. We've been writing for almost 2 years now.
And what's your friend's name?
May I confess something? I don't even know his name.
He never told you?
We never told each other. We agreed to call each other dear friend. I think it shows the maturity of our relationship, don't you?
Perhaps, but are you meeting him alone? Is that safe?
Of course. We've been writing for so long, it feels like we was born soulmates.
Clara?
Yeah?
Billy brought some rabbits in for supper. I need them skinned and turned to stew.
Yes, ma'am. I haven't told Fair about all this yet. She's much too practical for this kind of thing. But seeing as you're a writer, I was sure you'd understand.
Of course.
How about we go skin some rabbits, Alice?
Skin rabbits?
For your novel. You said you wanted to observe my day-to-day,
Oh, yes, of course. Skinning rabbits. Never had the experience.
Then today is an exciting day for both of us then, isn't it?
How do I look? For the third time, you look fine, Monty. It's exactly the same as the last time that you asked.
What time is it?
You have 5 minutes left. How long have you known this young lady?
Golly, I can't even remember how long. Feels like we've been writing each other letters for years. Like we was born soulmates. Is there a spot on this?
No, but I'll clean it off for you again if it makes you feel any better. I don't know why you're so nervous if you've known this girl for so long.
Well, I haven't exactly met her yet.
You what?
I don't even know her name.
Monty, how could you know a girl for so long without even meeting her?
You don't rush meeting a girl like this, Edward. She's smart, she's funny, and as clever as anything. What's she gonna think about a cowboy like me?
The question is, what are you gonna think about her? How are you even gonna recognize her?
I sent her a ribbon that my mother used to wear. Do me a favor. Look inside and tell me if you see her.
You mean to spy on her?
No, I just want to know if she's in there. I don't want to go in early. Just tell me if you see her.
All right.
Tell me if she's wearing the ribbon.
All right.
Is she in there?
Calm down, I haven't even looked yet. It's a little dark inside. Wait, there's someone coming.
Who is it?
It's a lady. She has her back to me now.
Is she wearing the ribbon?
Yeah, she's putting it on.
How does she look?
She looks all right so far. I can't see her face yet. She looks... Oh.
Oh? What do you mean, oh? Edward, what does that mean? Did you see her?
Yes, I saw her.
Did you see her face?
Yep.
And?
She's a very pretty lady. Undoubtedly very pretty.
I knew it. How do I look? Is my shirt too wrinkled?
You know, if I were to compare her to someone, I would say she looks quite a bit like Miss Clara.
Miss Clara. The saloon girl Clara? Why would you say a thing like that?
No, Monty, you must admit Miss Clara is a very lovely girl.
Still, did you have to bring her up at a time like this?
Well, I can tell you right now, if you don't like Miss Clara, you won't like this girl.
Why not?
Because it is Miss Clara. I'm sorry, Monty. I didn't know how else to tell you. Are you alright? You know, it's rather funny if you stop to think about it. It's very serious, too. Well,
Well, what?
are you gonna go meet her?
Why should I?
You wouldn't leave her in there.
Why not? That there is the most ornery, cantankerous woman I have ever known.
Well, I think you should at least go talk to her.
2 years. That's how long we've been writing each other.
Well, at least you know the truth now. Go on and talk to her, Monty. Monty! Come back, Monty!
Hello, I'm Clara. It's so good to finally meet you. Good evening. It's a pleasure to, at long last. That isn't right.
Evening, Miss Clara.
Mr. Mott, what are you doing here at this hour?
Just stopping in. Is Vera around?
She went to bed early. The inn is closed.
Is that right? What are you doing here?
Nothing. I'm waiting for a gentleman friend, if you must know.
That right? Don't look like he's here.
Don't worry, he will be.
Mind if I sit?
Yes.
Is that a new ribbon you're wearing?
Mr. Monty, please, I'm expecting someone.
Where did you get that ribbon?
Does it really matter?
Just thought it looked kind of funny is all.
I got it from my gentleman friend, who has a much better taste than you do.
Is that right?
That's right.
Not a very good friend who keeps you waiting though.
Oh, he'll be here. He's the most thoughtful and sophisticated of gentlemen. Everything you're not.
You know, I never could figure it. For all your fancy talking ribbons, you could be just as mean-spirited as my sister, Billy.
Mean-spirited?
What did I ever do to you?
Would you like me to write a list?
I ain't no different than any of them other cowboys that come in here.
That's right. You're not any different. You're just as dirty and selfish as all the rest. All you care about is your stupid horse, green or purple or whatever you call it.
Old Blue is the best horse within 500 miles.
Ha!
You'd know that if you ever rode him.
Well, I didn't ever ride him. Remember? Because you wouldn't let me.
I don't let anyone ride Old Blue.
Well, I had to walk all the way back home on foot, and on Sunday.
Especially not on Sundays. This is only day of rest.
Honestly.
And it's not like you've been the same to me either. I used to think you were a bad cook. Then I found out you were burning my food on purpose. I hardly eat here anymore because of you.
You talk as if I starved.
You might as well have. Do you know what it's like not to eat after a hard day's work?
And what would you know about a hard day's work? I've seen you sitting around in here like a grasshopper who played the fiddle until winter. No work and nothing to work for.
I work when I have to, and I enjoy life when I can. What's so wrong with that?
Nothing. For a cowboy without any dreams, no future.
I have my whole life ahead of me.
Well, so do I. And I work hard too. And one day I'm going to have a house with an orchard and a garden and as many horses as I'd like to ride, even on Sundays. And what will you have, Mr. Monty? That same hat, same horse, and same lonely life. Just an insignificant cowboy without an acre to his name. You can't even buy a girl a ring.
Is that right? Evening, Miss Clara.
Evening, Mr. Monty.
Are the tables and chairs always this dirty?
Most of the time.
It must be all the dust up blows in from the door. Why don't you get a solid door?
It's a saloon, not a schoolhouse.
Are your hands always that red?
My hands are not red, but yours will be too if you did as much laundry as I do.
You do all the laundry by hand?
Fascinating.
I've never done laundry day in my life, but I have cleaned my dishes by hand before. What's that?
Coffee grinder?
You grind all your own coffee?
Miss Fairchild, I wish to goodness you'd start following Claire around instead of me. She's much more interested in your book than I am.
I would, but I didn't want to disturb her while she was sleeping.
Sleeping. Has she not gotten out of bed yet?
I believe she's still under the covers.
Clara!
I think she's suffering from a broken heart.
A broken what?
Her gentleman friend never came to see her last night. But things will be okay in the end. These things just heal with time.
I suppose that means she hasn't gone into a well yet.
I'll have to draw the water myself.
You draw your own water too? How quaint!
Let me guess,
You haven't had the experience?
Not yet, but I'd very much like to see.
oh, you can do more than see it. You can do it yourself. Go get the bucket and write all about it in your book. The well is right there and around the corner.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm afraid I'm behind on meals today, Mr. Monty.
I need a loan, Vera.
Oh, I already told you.
It's not for a ring. I've been thinking all night, and I don't even have an anchor to my name. I need to establish myself. I'm not gonna wait around like cricket playing fiddle until winter.
Like the what?
Will you give me a loan?
I already told you. No. Leastways not so long as Billy has that bullwhip.
I can't believe it. I've never seen anything like it. I don't know how you people put up with it.
What is it, Mr. Fairchild?
I went to go look at my father's property.
Three Corners Ranch?
4.
I went through the river, came around the bend, and up to the house. And that's when I saw not 4, not 5, but 6 horses wandering around the place.
6?
And whoever horses those were making themselves right at home on my farm in my ranch.
It was those Furley brothers.
Is that what you call them?
Sounds like them, all right.
6 troublemakers you don't want to cross trails with. It's lucky you left right away.
I didn't leave. I went inside.
Into the house?
And they let you out alive?
You should have seen what they'd done to my hat.
Hey, brother, look what I found out about old St. Annie's River. Ever seen anything like it? It's got bullet holes all over it. Pretty sure whoever wore this is dead.
There it is. That's my hat.
Percy, what did those brothers do to you?
Shiny Shoes had a run-in with the Burley boys. I should have known this was yours.
I'd like it back if you don't mind.
I do mind. I think I'll use this the next time I take a bath. Let the water leak out right over my head.
Give it back, Billy.
All right, all right. I don't like baths anyhow.
I don't know how you good people put up with it.
With who, Billy or the burglar brothers?
Neither. I mean your sheriff. I went to go tell him what happened.
You didn't try to tell them?
I did. I've never seen a lawman look so much like Santa Claus while caring so little for his fellow man.
Our sheriff does look a lot like Santa Claus, doesn't he?
He's not as energetic as he used to be.
I've seen molasses move faster. I tried telling him 4 times. I'm still not sure he heard me.
He heard you. He just pretends he doesn't.
I'm going to tell him what happened. You guys may put up with it, but I won't. I don't care whose brothers they are.
Clara, where is that girl?
Isn't she working today?
Apparently not. I gave her the evening off, and this is what happens. She's suffering from a broken heart or broken head or some such nonsense.
You don't say.
All I know is the coffee isn't ready, and I have twice as much work to do. So if you'll excuse me.
You seem like you could use an extra pair of hands, couldn't you?
I could use 3, but now's not the time for wishful thinking.
I could help with the chores.
How's that?
If you're not going to get me a loan, I'll work for it.
You want me to hire you?
I can cook and clean and fix things as good as anyone, and I can keep Billy in check whenever he comes in.
Now that would be some help.
Just let me try for a little while.
You can start today. Go start working.
Yes, ma'am.
You can go to water well because Miss Fairchild has been out there for only minutes. Only hope she hasn't fallen in.
Yes, Clara, you won't regret this.
Alice!
I can take that off your hands for you, Miss Fairchild.
I'm feeling quite faint.
Did you carry that water all by yourself?
Oh, brother, I don't think I can live this kind of life.
What do you mean?
I can get her a cold cloth. I just need to rest for a minute.
Clara, are you okay? You look terrible.
I'm fine. I'm late on my chores. I have to go.
I can do your chores for you.
Mr. Monty, can't you see I'm not well? Please don't try to mess with me.
Vera hired me just today.
It's true, Clara. I've hired Mr. Monty and he'll be working for me, and for a while.
What? Someone catch her! Enough, everyone. Give her some room to breathe. I'll take her. I'm fine. It's okay. I'm fine.
I'll say one thing about your sister, Mr. Fairchild. She's got the spittle when she needs it.
She certainly does.
I hope Miss Claire's all right.
She'll be okay. She'll be out and about before you know it. That girl is stronger than most.
I know, but I wish there was something I can do. I feel downright awful.
Whatever for. Whatever is ailing her, I'm sure you had nothing to do with it.
Mr. Monty!
Yes, ma'am.
Where have you been all this time? The store will be closing any minute.
Sorry, I was just sweeping off the,
Just sitting there and go pick up those supplies.
Yes, ma'am.
And be sure those biscuits don't burn.
Yes, ma'am.
On second thought, I'll do that. On second thought, I'll do that.
Yes, ma'am.
I know supplies any better than you do. Where's Clara?
She's finishing the upstairs.
I'll be back soon. Sure you can manage the place?
You do run a tight outfit around here, miss, but I'm sure we can manage.
Be sure those biscuits don't burn.
Yes, ma'am.